3 episode 6 thoughts. This episode is called What If 1872. That I don't know if they were just running out of clever titles. Yeah, I mean, even the 1602 one had, what if the Avengers assembled in 1602? Anyway, spoilers for everything MCU leading up to and including this episode. I love this episode, as I do most things MCU. The episode is rated 12+, so this video it might be a short one. We'll see. Didn't I mean for that to rhyme. But I did that time. And, yeah, love seeing more Shang-Chi and Jia Ling, and, yeah, we already knew Haley Steinfeld was excellent in, voice work, just as she is in live action as, superheroes, so, yeah, if you haven't already watched the Spider-Verse movies, treat yourself. If you're into superhero media, which, since you're watching this video, I'm gonna go ahead and assume you are. Let's see. Yeah, Walton Goggins, never unhappy to see that guy or hear that guy pop up in something, and he's, phenomenal here. Really glad he's not completely gone from the MCU. I do hope we see more of him. Let's see, I guess we really have only seen him in the what's it called? Ant-Man and the Wasp. And that was years ago. That was like 2018 or something, 2017. Yeah, right around there. So, yeah, hopefully he'll, as far as I recall, his character was still alive by the end of that movie. So it is possible. And other characters from there have popped up since then. Yeah, I think I was a little bit surprised that we didn't find out who the Hood was, but then I guess, I mean, the way the cloak moved there at the end, is that supposed to be the living cape that Doctor Strange wears? Was the original Hood Stephen, maybe? I mean, I guess the powers are the more important part. Yeah, I love that the 10 rings is now 10 rings of a bell to signal for help. Which that's 3 more than the Ariana Grande song, and I guess 70 days before Samara takes you out. Yeah, I think that does just about get right. The kid was great, and the thing with the what was it, drunken wasp sting. Yeah, like a kid can only hit so hard, but that particular part of the anatomy is very sensitive, so yeah, makes a lot of sense. Let's see. Yeah, really relieved that they didn't, manage to, like, holy crap, and that was also, like, Walton Goggins saying, what do you do? What are you waiting for? Go, I'm not going to repeat his exact words, but yeah. The thing he says to the guard, to the 2 goons before they run after the kid, and they were about to, they're just, yeah. And, the Watcher interferes. At this point, I feel like he should just have to legally change his title to the Interferer. It's also a really great cliffhanger there at the end. Yeah, we knew it had to come sooner or later. This was sooner than I thought, but yeah. And love seeing Kirby Dots again. We did see that when he fought Ultron in Season 1 as well. Yeah, that might be... Right, love that Kate is being referred to as Hawkeye, because that is what she is, legacy character, the whole thing. So, yeah. She's significantly more confident here. Even, like, they made her slightly more confident in the Marvels, which, fair enough. She's not talking to Clint anymore. That was major part of the reason that she was so green in the Hawkeye miniseries. Yeah, she was much closer to the more cool, kind of smooth Hawkeye that, I haven't read that much that she's appeared in, but I did reach, I want to say, the entire run of, I I hope I don't get this wrong. I think Matt Fraction's run, the one that they took some inspiration. Yeah, the Hawkeye miniseries took some inspiration from that one, so I read it, right before the show started, and in that one, as well as Marvel's Avengers, the video game from 2020. Yeah, much cooler. And I think cool that they worked in, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, Walker. Once again, reminding us, that character's still around. Don't worry, because I guess at this point it's not that many months before Thunderbolts. And let's see. Yeah, nice diverse cast as usual. Diversity is our strength. Still not really, the MCU has not done very much featuring like actual trans characters. Although I guess if Disney put a trans character in an animated show, they might just end up not airing the episode. That's like a thing at this point. They keep doing that. So yeah. I know I'm like a week late, but my wrists... Long story. Anyway, I just got done watching the video by Council of Geeks on the second of who knows how many animated, episodes that were to go on Disney Plus that did not, because they focused on a trans person's struggle as a trans person, and apparently that would just warp children's minds. Like, yeah, I wish I was surprised. Hopefully at some point they will do better. Now, so some couple other things. Really love how much this genuinely did feel like a Western. There's some spaghetti... The subtitles even identified as spaghetti Western score at the start of the episode, and the way that Sean walks in, we don't get like he walks into the shot and like, very Westerny, not that common to MCU house style. And the way that they gave us a few seconds of silence as they wait for the ghost train, that also felt like a classic. Like, clearly someone who worked on this, they watched some Sergio Leone, and I'm here for it. It's too bad, I guess, with this being the last season, I guess we're never gonna see Ultron, the singer, and what was that other one, like Pirates? And let's see, awesome fighting in each scene that has fighting. And the thing with the hat was very clever, and also felt like a nice, martial arts twist on a Western. There are a couple of martial arts Westerns. I wonder if one of them has that. They do make a distinct, like, Walton Goggins says, why don't you lower your fists of fury? I'm like 90%. That is, maybe I can see it from here, because I did buy... Yeah, that's a Bruce Lee reference. I'm gonna get to some Bruce Lee movies. Don't you worry. Big fan. Anyway, can't promise it'll be soon. Still dealing with the back pain. Yes. So and Hawkeye firing the guns and then catching the guns from the guys that Sean beats. Just so freaking cool. Just absolutely love it. And the train was also nice. I love the thing of like, oh, it's a ghost train, and then we see no, it's, I'm a firm believer in magic is science that we don't understand yet, and it's the hover technology that and they mention Cross Industries, Stark and Hammer all. Was it Cross Industries? Whatever. The three families and inventors exist in this universe, in the multiverse, and them jumping onto the train, and it's it's gonna jump into the chasm. but then it stays on, which, you know, the audience gets that because we can recognize, oh, that's like floaty thing. It doesn't need ground under it to stay above, you know. It is rated age 12, you know, might be a little bit intense for 12-year-olds to imagine, you know, this, like, I don't know, 10-year-old perishing like that, but, you know, the characters don't know, and it's a fun little, you know, sometimes it works when the audience knows more than the characters. And let's see, yeah, I'm really glad they gave Walton as much dialogue as they did. I will literally, like, if one day you see a video where I say, I wish Walton Goggins didn't talk so much, like, that's when you know, okay, you know, that's an LMD of you know, he's been replaced. Or a Skrull, I guess. Yeah, the what is that? Bring us to the yeah. Let's see. We have the. I really appreciate that they did actually. There was some Mandarin spoken, and that became, you know, how Shang signaled the kid, and of course they got to do the little thing of the kid being like, "What?" You know, just yeah, making it slightly less believable that it would work. But yeah, the MCU will MCU, and let's see, yeah, the thing with, you know, no, the Hood wants to see you, so you will get to. And, you know, he's telling Hawkeye, you know, oh, these are your mom's guns, which, yeah, you know, that more or less tracks with, you know, she did have some, like, organized crime connections, which back then it wouldn't necessarily have to be. She could just be, you know, manufacturing guns. Doesn't have to be, but it just felt like a nod to that. We also had the sun's getting real low. It's, you know, cute reference. Yeah, and they also at one point, like, they emerge from, like, dust, and there's a tumbleweed at the very start. Just really love all the Western touches, Western genre touches. You know, from Disney Western Animation Studios. And let's see, then we have the yeah, you know, yeah, he's so confident that it's going to keep working. They don't come out and say it, but is that, like, they say, you know, you got to have earplugs in, which I assume is also how the goons are unaffected. Is that the thing that Obadiah used to stun Tony when he stole his heart there at the end of Iron Man 1? Because it seemed to have a similar, you know, we haven't really seen anything that, like, hypnotizes quite like that, at least. I did also for a while wonder if they really were going to have it be Quentin Beck who was the Hood, but, you know, 2 episodes in a row, that feels distinctly unimaginative for this show. Now, let's see. Yeah, I love I already mentioned I love the fighting, but I love that at one point, one of the things that has, like, a lantern at the top is, like, broken, and a little bit of fire spread. I did think they were going to push that further. I thought by the end there's going to be a lot of fire, but it was a neat little bit, you know, of you know, it, what's the word? Escalating, you know, escalation. And yeah, you know, the kid thinks of the bell, which, very clever. It's, you know, he just thinks of, oh, the bell is a way to signal to the Hood. He doesn't know that that's gonna break the you know, he didn't hear the whole, he doesn't even know about the little music box thing hypnotizing people, you know. So it's a neat little bit of, like, he knows that it will have a positive effect on you know, 10 rings. And yeah, you know, if Walton Goggins just hadn't, you know, if he hadn't practically handed her the guns and given her all the motivation, you know, Sly Dog got him monologuing. And yeah, really great reveal that, you know, it wasn't always the case, but now the Hood is Xialing, or rather, I guess, controlling her body, because the way she reverts to Xialing the moment the hood itself is off her. Which is also one of those things that, like, I guess she couldn't have just pulled it off. You know, I do appreciate that Hawkeye does realize and apologize. You know, like, when she shot the hood, she didn't realize that was Xialing. It really, how would she possibly have guessed that? There's no reason to suspect it, you know. I don't know, was that the writers patting themselves on the back for a clever twist? I don't know. And, you know, Xialing was about to kill, you know, Zhang. And, you know, he's, like, he practically, like, paints a bullseye and, like, says, okay, on my mark, fire, you know, just, like, he could not have built more up to the execution. And let's see, you know, meanwhile, you know, she's standing there, like, struggling. Should I do it? Should I not? And then she remembers, he broke my favorite toy, and I was about to carry it out. Yeah, the weapon, I do not know what it's called, but the little blade and the chain, so badass. Love that. And I think that might just about be... Yeah. Right. It's been a while since I heard Jason Isaacs in something. You know. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. You know, his name was in the opening credits of both this and the one before it. So yeah, he must be. I think the subtitles called him the Eminence. You know, the leader of the Watchers, apparently. And yeah, he's great as always. You know, I don't think I've seen him since I watched, what was it called, Shopping, the Paul W. Anderson, you know, film. That, you know, that was back when he and Paul W. Anderson made movies together. Before, I'm not entirely sure what did happen, but they haven't worked together in a while, from what I recall. Anyway, yeah, was the other thing? Yeah, so the motivation by Xialing, you know, I really appreciate, before I get into that, I do want to say I really appreciate them commenting on how badly Chinese immigrants were treated. And, you know, it's not a huge leap to say, you know, yeah, to this day, America treats its immigrants, a lot of countries around the world, sadly, treat their immigrants very, very poorly. And it's made clear, no, they're there to work. You know, they're not somehow simultaneously stealing people's jobs and being lazy. And let's see, yeah. So, you know, Xialing, you know, there's a little bit of Killmonger going on. You know, she has an understandable motivation, but she pushes it too far. And I do appreciate, like, apparently at least some of it is the fact that the hood was affecting her mind. You know, because once the hood is gone, she's not like, it was so close, you know, I wouldn't have gotten away. I would have got away with it too if it weren't for those bullets and me, you know. But no, yeah, his sister is back, dying in his arms. And let's see, yeah, so we do have a story where the villain is an immigrant, and I do want to explain why I don't think this one fails the way that Secret Invasion did. You know, Secret Invasion basically said that a massive amount of illegal immigrants are perfectly willing to engage in terrorism if they feel like, you know, betrayed by the government that, you know, quote unquote took them in. That's really, really problematic. That is something there's a lot of people who actually do believe. You know, that's white replacement. One aspect of white replacement, not the entire. You know, is that a large chunk of them are inherently dangerous and just like ticking time bombs. Basically, it's just a matter of time, which is very convenient. You know, if you're convinced that no, any second now, if we wait just a little bit longer, they're definitely going to do it. So we better hit them first. You know, you can justify anything if you say, you know, if we don't do it, then it's just a matter of time before they... You don't have to wait until there's any evidence that it's at all going to happen. You should do it now. Just trust me, bro. That's my source. But the... You know, here, in part, it's, you know, the corrupting influence. And it is also clear that it is one Chinese immigrant. You know, Shang is fighting her. Like, the moment that he finds out it's her, he doesn't immediately say, oh, you know, if you're doing it, it must be right. No, he's a Chinese immigrant as well. He's also struggled. He tries to stop her, you know, and if she felt confident that this was just what all Chinese immigrants wanted, why did she hypnotize the ones on the train? Why, you know, why not just hand them guns and say, we're going to go do the thing that we all secretly want to do, that we're just waiting for, you know? And that's just not the case in Secret Invasion. Yeah, there's some propaganda going on, sure, but they do actually go along with it, you know? And part of the problem there is also that some of them are like leadership and media positions, you know, so yeah, some really messed up, yeah. And I think that does just about... Right, I do like that Hawkeye doesn't kill the... You know, that's Sonny. I don't know why I keep calling him Walton Goggins. Walton Goggins is awesome. Sonny Birch, great. But Walton Goggins, always amazing. But yeah, you know, she doesn't shoot Sonny Boy. She says, I want you to suffer. Which I think means that she's going to subject him to, like, Daily Wire media, like, ugh. But, I mean, he is, you know, quite an evil person, so, yeah, fair's fair. That stuff is gonna melt his brain in no time. Unless, and I don't think Hawkeye is going to allow this, he gets to make, like, left-wing YouTube videos talking about how terrible it is, which is how I know. Like, I've only seen the stuff I've seen some of the stuff they put on YouTube. I have not watched any Daily Wire Plus. You know, braver leftist YouTubers than I have subjected themselves to it, and they came out with, you know, their minds intact. And that seems like it's genuinely the only way that it doesn't just crush your spirit.